BJP leaders here in the national capital. Member of Parliament of the BJP, Dinesh Sharma, and Union Minister Krishan Pal Gujjar have changed their address in their nameplates outside their official residences in the national capital. Their residence is on Tughlaq Lane in Delhi, but their nameplates outside their residence say Swami Vivekanand Road. This comes days after party colleagues proposed renaming various areas in the national capital and to remove the colonial hangover. Two senior leaders highlighted Swami Vivekanand Marg in their nameplates. Tughlaq Lane was mentioned, but it was inscribed beneath Swami Vivekanand Marg in brackets. The move has stirred a political debate now, with the opposition taking a jibe at the BJP, asking if they want to change the name of unemployment and inflation as well.
मुझसे भी वहाँ के जो संबंधित लोग थे उन्होंने पूछा कि कैसी नाम पट्टिका होनी चाहिए। मैं वहाँ गया ही नहीं था, देखा ही नहीं था। मैंने कहा जैसा आसपास हो वैसी नाम पट्टिका होनी चाहिए। आसपास के जो मकान था उसमें लिखा हुआ था विवेकानंद मार्ग और नीचे लिखा था तुगलक लेन, दोनों साथ साथ लिखे थे। आप तलाशेंगे तो गूगल में वो जगह, वो स्थान विवेकानंद रोड आता है। एक सामान्य सी प्रक्रिया है, इसमें कोई कंट्रोवर्सी नहीं है। मैं जानता हूं कि सांसद को अधिकार नहीं है नाम बदलने का किसी भी रोड का। हाँ, ये बात सही है कि लोगों की ये मांग उठती आई है कि जो अंग्रेज आक्रांता थे, जो फ्रांसीसी आक्रांता थे या जो मुगल आक्रांता थे, तो जो आक्रांता रहे, क्रूर प्रवृत्ति के रहे, उनके नाम पर नहीं होना चाहिए। ये लोग मांग करते आ रहे हैं।
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी, उनसे जुड़े हुए संगठन, उनके सांसद, उनका केवल एक एजेंडा है, नफरत का एजेंडा, बंटवारे का एजेंडा। और कहीं ना कहीं भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सांसद उसी एजेंडे को आगे बढ़ाने का काम कर रहे हैं। नाम बदलने की पॉलिटिक्स, रोड का नाम बदलने की पॉलिटिक्स, ये भाजपा की पुरानी राजनीति है। उत्तर प्रदेश में एक शहीद के नाम पे स्कूल था जिसका नाम बदलने का काम भाजपा में हुआ, लेकिन जब समाजवादी पार्टी ने विरोध किया तो भाजपा ने उस फैसले को बदलने का काम किया। तो कहीं ना कहीं भारतीय जनता पार्टी का एजेंडा है नफरत और बंटवारे की राजनीति करना, और भाजपा के सांसद उसी राजनीति का हिस्सा है, उसी एजेंडे को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं। लेकिन समाजवादी पार्टी समझती है देश का नौजवान, बेरोजगार, किसान, मजदूर वो समझदार है, वो भाजपा को जवाब देगा।
स्वामी विवेकानंद इस देश के युवाओं के आदर्श हैं और आज से सैकड़ों वर्ष पूर्व उन्होंने शिकागो में धर्म संसद में भारत की प्रतिष्ठा को पूरी दुनिया में स्थान दिलवाया था। तो ऐसे महापुरुष जो इस देश के और हमारे लिए आदर्श हैं, उनके नाम को और देश के लोगों की भावनाएं हैं, तो ऐसे महापुरुष के नाम को हमारी आस्था है स्वामी विवेकानंद जी में, उनके आदर्शों में, इसलिए हमने वो नाम स्वामी विवेकानंद मार्ग लिखवाया है।
अरे साहब, किसी व्यक्ति के बदलने से कोई चीज़ बदलती है, और हम तो ये बार बार कह रहे हैं कि इनको पता भी है स्वामी विवेकानंद कौन थे, उनके क्या विचार थे। वो एक ऐसे व्यक्ति थे जो जातिवाद के खिलाफ काम किया करते थे, जो महिला उत्थान की बात किया करते थे, और इनके तरीके का नहीं केवल दिखावा, वो थे जो सांप्रदायिकता के बिल्कुल खिलाफ थे, सर्वधर्म समभाव की बात करते थे, हर धर्म के बीच में एकता की और बराबरी की बात करते थे। और वो तो कभी भी नहीं कहते थे कि कोई एक धर्म किसी दूसरे धर्म से बड़ा है या छोटा है। जिस तरीके की ये घटिया सांप्रदायिकता और सांप्रदायिक राजनीति बीजेपी वाले करते हैं, तो फॉलो आपको किसी को करना नहीं, केवल हर किसी का नाम आपको एक अपनी राजनीति आगे करने के लिए करना है। तो ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी की यही चीज़ें हैं, इनके पास ना नैतिक हिम्मत है ना बौद्धिक हिम्मत है किसी व्यक्ति को समझने की या उनके विचारों पे चलने की।
मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक के बारे में लोग अच्छी तरह जानते हैं, देश दुनिया के लोग जानते हैं, इतिहासकार भी जानते हैं। वो एक सनकी राजा थे, और ऐसे सनकी व्यक्ति के नाम पर मार्ग बदलने की जो उन्होंने नाम स्वामी विवेकानंद जी का सोचा है, बहुत अच्छा नाम है। स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने भारत माता के झंडे को दुनिया में पहुंचाया और सर्वोच्च शिखर पर भारत संस्कृति को उस समय पहुंचाने का काम स्वामी विवेकानंद जी ने किया था। अच्छा काम।
डॉक्टर दिनेश शर्मा जी हमारे वरिष्ठ नेता हैं, और उन्होंने या अथवा किसी और नेता ने तुगलक रोड का नाम बदल करके स्वामी विवेकानंद जी के नाम से मार्ग लिखने का काम किया है, तो मुझे लगता है कि ऐसे नामों को बदलने का दिल्ली में भी सही समय आ गया है, और अब दिल्ली में भी डबल इंजन की सरकार है, तुष्टीकरण करने वाली नहीं है, तो इस कदम का स्वागत।
Now, this is a controversy that is brewing with the opposition putting the BJP in the dock, despite the BJP and several within the party having this long-standing demand of changing names that are named behind either Mughal emperors or British-era names that need to be changed. That's something that the government, that the Delhi government, the civic body, the central government all have been working towards in the recent past, at least for certain roads, certain buildings. But this time around, there are these two BJP leaders that have changed the name only on their addresses, on their nameplates, and Tughlaq Lane does remain a part of their nameplates as well. Arun now joining us, getting us more perspective on this. Arun, like we've been discussing, this is something that the BJP has been doing for a while now, at least in the recent past. We've seen several such names of roads in the national capital or across the country that have been changed. Now that the two BJP leaders have done this and changed it on their nameplates, are we going to be seeing a renewed demand for the civic body to bring this change in officially?
Well, see, there are many roads in Delhi on which certain BJP leaders wanted to change, whether it is Akbar Road, Shah Jahan Road, Tughlaq Road, also one of the roads where they have written to the NDMC and to the central government about these changes. But in this case, in Tughlaq Lane's case, Dinesh Sharma, BJP's Rajya Sabha MP, and Krishna Pal Gujjar, who is a union minister, both of them had put this Swami Vivekananda Marg on their address nameplate outside their house, and Krishna Pal Gujjar had actually done it like 3 months back, and now Dinesh Sharma has done it. Yesterday he had a Griha Pravesh there in that house, on that road, and the reason which he is giving is that his neighbor, and also there are one or two other houses where you will find Swami Vivekananda Marg mentioned on their nameplate outside the house, and the second reason which Dinesh Sharma gives is that when you search or put Tughlaq Lane in Google Maps, you will find Swami Vivekananda Marg on that. In fact, if you go there and go through the Google map, you will not find the Google Tughlaq Lane. It will, if you put Tughlaq Lane there, you will reach to Tughlaq Road. So there is no specific location which Google Map indicates for the Tughlaq Lane. But I think BJP has been speaking about it, and they are not shying away from this fact that they want to change the names of the roads and the places. Timing may be something which can differentiate. You will say certain changes will take place in next 6 months or maybe in a year, because we have seen in the past there have been few things which BJP changed, and they have been very clear about it. When Rajpath was changed, Prime Minister Modi specifically spoke about it and said that this was something which was given to our country during the colonial Raj. So we want to get rid of it, and that's why we are changing it to Kartavya Path. Mughal Garden was also changed. Even at that point in time, BJP leaders did not shy away from speaking in that regard, that why they are making it Amrit Vatika. So I think BJP leaders, starting from the top to the below, they understand what party's ideology is and what suits them, and that's the reason why you see that these leaders are not actually waiting for any official order or official changing of the names, and they themselves going ahead and putting in their nameplates whatever they want, and they're also maintaining this fact that this is not official. They agree to it, and they're saying that's the reason why they have not removed the Tughlaq Lane from their address. They have kept it there, but it's in a smaller size and also below this, but prominently they are showing Swami Vivekananda Marg on their nameplates.
Sure, and interestingly, what they also said was that two other people, or at least neighbors on both our sides, they have Vivekananda Marg written as well on their particular nameplates. Do we have any inkling of who these neighbors are? Are they members of parliament of the BJP themselves or any other party?
Yes, there are because there are one or two private residents also there in that area. So in one of the residents you will find the Swami Vivekananda Marg is written, and there's another house of an MP there you will also find the name of Swami Vivekananda. So that's the reason, that's the point which these BJP leaders are highlighting. Dinesh Sharma, when he was speaking to media, he said, he checked around, there were 2-3 houses beside the Union Minister's house who have had the Swami Vivekananda Marg written on their nameplates, and therefore he asked his staff to also, go with the same thing. And Krishnapal Gujjar, who's been having this plate on his house for almost 3 months now, he's also not really saying anything in this regard, whether he's going to write to the NDMC in this regard. He's saying that he'll look into it and then perhaps think of it, writing to NDMC, because he reveres Swami Vivekananda. He thinks that his teachings are something which is the foundation of his life's teaching, his life's mantra, and therefore he has applied it in that regard on his house nameplate. But of course he's maintaining that there is no official thing in this, and that's the reason why Tughlaq Lane is written beside that Swami Vivekananda Marg on the nameplate.
Right, Arun, at the moment, thank you so much for getting us the latest. We are shifting focus now to Karnataka, where the state government, the chief minister, who is also the finance minister of the state, Mr. Siddaramaiah, presented the budget announcing 8,000 crore rupees for minorities, along with several other welfare measures. It included financial aid for the Muslim community. The Karnataka government SOPs for imams and allocation for the fund of protection of Waqf properties is something that has now triggered a political fight. Now, as part of the budget, the government has also increased the salaries of imams to 6,000 rupees per month. 150 crores have been allocated for Waqf property protection and Muslim burial grounds. The chief minister of the state also announced a 4% reservation for Muslims in government tenders and contracts under various departments and corporations. The BJP has called this move nothing but appeasement, but the Congress has also retorted that as part of this budget, funds were allocated not just for the minority community, but also to temples and the Hindu community. Salaries of priests across temples have also been increased.
I congratulate Mr. Siddaramaiah for presenting his 16th budget, which outlays to 4 lakh crore. And in 4 lakh crore, he has given 5,000 crores for the development of minorities, all minorities, includes Muslims, right? And 15% of the state's population is Muslim minority. So if you have a 15% minority population, you give 5,000 crore out of 4 lakh crore. Is it an appeasement? And are Muslim minorities not the equal citizens of this country? So if BJP says it's a appeasement thing, it shows and it exposes the BJP.
This budget is a Muslim appeasement budget. Otherwise also, looks like Siddaramaiah is trying to safeguard his seat. And look at the budget. It is not even a political budget. It's more of a political speech. See, this is a deficit budget of 19,000 crores. Deficit budget means, last time also you have seen, Siddaramaiah won't announce anything right now. After the budget, he will start putting taxes on everything. There is already a price rise on everything, from gas to groceries. Anything you take in Karnataka, there is a big price rise. And after this budget, there is going to be a price rise again. And there is not a single proposal for development anywhere. So he is trying to bloat up the figures and show a different GSTP rate so that he can take more loan this year.
Honorable Chief Minister, he has presented the 16th budget. I think it is one of the milestone in his life. He has given a budget of 4,09,592 crores, which is much more than 27,000 crores more than the previous budget, which is not easy, and he has done it so well. And it's a budget which is well balanced, given justice to every other department, plus he has also prioritized certain areas like infrastructure, irrigation, and also health and social justice. He has managed to cover all the departments, including my own home department. He has done quite well. I must congratulate him.
अपीसमेंट पॉलिटिक्स को उन्हें मना किया। कांग्रेस क्या मना किया था अंबेडकर जी? उसको विरोध में एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा है। माइनॉरिटियों को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में भी आप रिजर्वेशन दिया है, किसका खिलाफ है? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ है, संविधान के खिलाफ है। कितना अपीज करना चाहता है आप? कम्युनल पॉलिटिक्स कितना करना चाहता है? हुबली में पुलिस स्टेशन में हमला किए वो लोगों को आप छोड़ता है, केस वापस लाने के लिए निर्णय लेता है, बिना कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर वोट बैंक पॉलिटिक्स के लिए पैसा गारंटी स्कीम के माध्यम से पैसा बांटेगा तो डेवलपमेंट हो जाएगा क्या?
Harish now joins us, getting us more perspective. Harish, we've heard the political war of words, but let's talk about what actually the budget has as far as all communities are concerned. Appeasement is something that the BJP is talking of, but the Congress points towards allocations that have been done for temples, for salaries of priests as well. So as far as the budget is concerned overall, talking about all communities in the state of Karnataka, is it a fair budget in your opinion?
It looks like that if you look at the numbers. Remember, the trustee amount given to the architects at temples has gone up from 60,000 rupees to 72,000 rupees. There is also allocation made to ensure that temple lands which have been encroached are encroachments are removed and they're safeguarded. Allocation has happened for that. There's also allocation for temple cells as well. Apart from that, if you look at various other amounts given, the same 6,000 rupees is not just being given to imams, it's also being given to granthis at gurudwaras, it's also being given to priests at Jain places of worship as well. And this has happened across board. Even if you're talking about allocation made to Urdu institutions, Urdu schools, or even madrasas, the same allocation has been made for Karnataka public schools, for the general public, or the government schools that the government runs under its education department, or even sending students abroad as well. For the other groups, other communities, they have Karnataka Sheening scholarship as well. So the government saying the allocation has been made to various departments according to their needs, and giving out a breakup saying that it's only 4,700 crore rupees that has been given to the minorities department, while the overall budget is in excess of 4 lakh crore rupees. And that's the kind of allocation that has been made. They're also saying they haven't forgotten Bangalore, and that's the reason they have doubled the allocation Bangalore from 3,000 to 6,000 crore rupees. And saying that if you look at the overall allocation, not just cash allocation, but also projects being funded in Bengaluru, that goes up to 1 lakh crore rupees. So the Congress saying it's a well-balanced budget without really being biased towards anyone.
Right, Harish, thank you so much for getting us all those details and putting that in perspective for us. Shifting focus now to some breaking news that's coming in. IAF's Jaguar jet has crashed in Ambala. We're given to understand that the pilot ejected safely and on time and has survived, but the crash itself is something that is being reported off from Ambala. My colleague Akash Sharma joining us, getting us more details on this. Yes, Akash.
So Poonam, this Jaguar has crashed. We have got to know, in fact, just a few hours back this incident has happened. It has happened near Ambala. As you rightly pointed out, pilot ejected on time and is safe. But under what circumstances it has happened, it will be investigated. Indian Air Force is going to issue one statement in some time from now. We'll get some clarity as to what actually happened. But we have been given to understand that this Jaguar was on a routine training mission when this incident happened. Possibly there was some technical fault or technical failure that was noticed by the pilot, because of which he ejected. But, it is a matter of investigation now. We are learning that pilot is safe.
Right, so that's good news as far as the condition of the pilot is concerned. The pilot is believed to have ejected on time, which is why the pilot is safe. But what exactly transpired? Of course, the details, Akash, will come out only after a detailed investigation. But if you could put in perspective for our viewers, what exactly this particular jet is, what it looks like, how many people can be on board and things like that?
So it's a fighter jet. We have got a fleet of Jaguars. The Jaguars were very much used in Kargil and can be used for several sort of missions. Jaguar is one of the most reliable platforms that Indian Air Force has. And at this point in time, it is not very clear, Poonam, that what was the mission about. But sources within the Defence Ministry are telling us that it was a training sortie, on which this particular thing happened when pilot ejected. Definitely, it will be investigated as to under what circumstances he ejected, and what kind of message he transmitted before ejecting. But yes, the good news is that he is safe, and as far as this whole incident is concerned, so Indian Air Force will definitely be issuing one statement, and we are expecting this statement in some time from now, Poonam.
Right, Akash. Thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. News and updates will continue here on CNN News 18, but for now, it's time for a quick break.
Засади рятувальників наразі ліквідовують наслідки. Медики, поліція, всі оперативні служби на місцях. Ліквідовуємо, допомагаємо. Намагаємось максимально оперативно ліквідувати усі пожежі. Уся інформація буде згодом щодо наслідків, щодо постраждалих. Ми працюємо.
$4.10 перемещаться.
У меня аж дом задрожал и упали вещи. И я боялся и из-под дивана упал. И испугался, под диван залез и сидел, пока все это не перестанется. Я орал на весь дом. Папа меня успокоил, но я все равно той ночью не мог заснуть, целую ночь сидел. И что-то еще все равно стреляло. Я боялся, спрятался под диваном, пытался заснуть. И еще был у меня братик, он тоже испугался, и он тоже плакал. И я не мог ничего сделать, и я просто быстро пытался заснуть. И сейчас мы сидим без света, и у нас все электрическое, мы не можем покушать. У нас все и мой брат младший, он тоже не может покушать. И еще мама уехала на войну, и папа. Папа мне помог, чтобы я не боялся.
Мы просто 6 можем, сколько? 4? 4 на забор. Ира, надо попросить у кого-то тачку.
Да, главное, нет света и газа нет еще, добавок ко всему. У нас же отопление, частный дом, котел стоит, автономное. Газа нет с ночи. Плита не работает, света нет. Уезжать пока таких планов нет. Во-первых, это связано с возрастом. Нам уже под 80 лет, мне и жене. А во-вторых, ехать-то некуда. Будем приспосабливаться. Конечно, если уже так, если каждый вечер будет такая бомбежка, то придется, может быть, куда-то убегать.
Thank you for staying with us here on Nation at 5. The investigation in the massive gold smuggling operation involving Kannada actor Ranya Rao has put forth some startling details about her modus operandi. The investigation has revealed that gold bars were wrapped with tape and crepe bandages and then were tightly wrapped around her body. She has confessed to hiding these gold bars around her inner thighs, her shin and waist. There are certain marks on these body parts of hers that corroborate that claim as well. The DRI, which is the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence that is investigating this entire case, has now gotten 3 more day custody of Ranya Rao. They want to look at how deep this racket actually goes through. CNN News18 in fact has accessed Ranya Rao's first statement to the DRI in which she admits to the smuggling and doing it via the illegal route. Ranya Rao has accepted that 17 pieces of gold bar were recovered from her possession. She has confessed to travelling not just to Dubai but to countries around the Europe and America as well.
No, I don't know. I mean, we are looking at it because no. Our protocol we can change, but whatever the protocol followed by the CISF on those people, that I have asked the DG to look into it, and DPR has to do that. And once the DGP and the DPR sit together, work out whatever is required.
Harish now joins us, getting us more perspective on this. Harish, we're given to understand that the investigation in this case, of course, is progressing, and the statement that she's given to the DRI, that of course has now shifted the focus also to who else could be aiding and abetting her. But the fallout of this is that certain norms and protocols are also expected to be changed at the Kempegowda airport.
Yes, absolutely. Now Karnataka government has asked the DGP to get in touch with the Department of Personnel to draw a new list of people who can be given this protocol privilege and how that needs to be implemented. So in all likelihood, a new draft will come up, and perhaps the government will look at allowing only senior officers or even politicians holding high office to gain this privilege of protocol privilege at the airport, and perhaps they will also ensure that there is much more monitoring that will happen over there. That's what we are being told right now. Apart from that, if you look at the investigation now, the fact that for the first time after her arrest, DRI has got her custody for 3 days. The DRI looking at getting 2-3 specific information. One is who are the people who are with her, because the DRI says that they believe there are other accused in this case. So establishing that, getting hold of them, that's important. Second, they also believe that there were strong links that she had in Dubai. Who are they? How did they manage to smuggle gold bars inside the airport? That's another factor they'll have to figure out. The third one is they believe that she has already smuggled a lot of gold in her earlier trips. So what is the quantum of gold? Who's the end beneficiary? Where is it now? That's something that they will have to find out and recover to build a watertight case here. They're also looking at how she misuses protocol because even yesterday the DRI told us that they believe that this is a massive misuse of protocol, and they called it a security threat to the nation as well. So they would want to see if she was just name dropping, using her father's name, and getting the officers to let her go at the security point, or was there any influence at all from her father's side? These are things they want to find out, but they do believe that there are some influential people who are part of this nexus. They strongly believe that she wasn't just a mule or a courier. She was actively part of this entire nexus, is what they believe at this point in time.
And speaking of her father, her stepfather, in fact, who is a DGP rank officer, he is the DGP of Police Housing, if I'm not mistaken. He has come out and distanced himself from her and from this entire scandal. But is the state government going to be investigating him, or perhaps asking him to step aside until the investigation is over?
Well, the Home Minister telling that they are waiting for much more concrete information to be sent from the DRI. They're saying they've had absolutely no information because she was arrested by the DRI. Ever since her arrest, she has been in DRI's custody or in judicial custody. No information has been shared by DRI. DRI reports to the union government. So the Home Ministry here is saying that if there is anything that the DRI finds in its investigation, shares it to the Home Department here, there will be action against Mr. Ramchandra Rao if there is any fault that has been noticed in this investigation. Otherwise, there's very little that the Home Department here can do. In fact, as you rightly mentioned, the senior IPS officer distancing himself, saying that after her wedding, there has been not much of a communication with his stepdaughter, and he has absolutely no role to play. The law should take its own course. But the fact that she's managed to misuse protocol so many times makes many wonder, including the agencies, on did she manage to just name drop so many times and convince officers, state protocol officers at the airport, or was there any clear communication that happened from Mr. Rao's side?
Right, so as the investigation progresses, the can of worms are opening even further. For the moment, thank you so much, Harish, for putting that in perspective for us. Shifting focus now to Tamil Nadu, where there seems to be no end in sight as far as the language debate goes. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin warned against the national education policy, and after that, the central government has hit right back. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has slammed Stalin's selective opposition to Hindi, saying that he's been trying for 2 years to get the Tamil Nadu government to conduct medical and engineering exams in Tamil, but there has been no initiative that has been taken by the state government so far. Amit Shah further said that the CAPF examination, there was no provision to take the test in the regional language, and that it was the Prime Minister's initiative that allowed regional languages to be used in these examinations. In an exclusive conversation with CNN News 18, the DMK has now responded that the party does not want centre's validation, reiterating its demand for linguistic equality.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने निर्णय किया कि सभी 8वीं सूची की अनुसूची की भाषाओं में अब हमारे युवा परीक्षा दे पाएंगे। तमिलनाडु के युवा भी अब तमिल में परीक्षा दे पाएंगे। मेरा आग्रह है तमिलनाडु के मुख्यमंत्री को कि तमिलनाडु में भी तमिल भाषा में मेडिकल और इंजीनियरिंग का एजुकेशन शुरू किया जाए, शीघ्रातिशीघ्र किया जाए। मैं 2 साल से कह चुका हूं, पर अभी तक कोई परिणाम नहीं मिला है। मुझे आशा है कि आज वो जरूर कुछ पहल करेंगे।
Shows that Amit Shah does not know anything about Tamil Nadu, because way back when Kalaignar was chief minister, there was a Tamil medium course in the Guwahati Engineering College, but there are less number of students have joined. But there are books for both for medicine and engineering in Tamil, and we had also announced Tamil medium education in Guwahati Engineering College, and some of the students were taught engineering in Tamil way back when our chief Kalaignar was chief minister between 2006 and 11. So that those things Amit Shah does not know, because they don't know what is Tamil Nadu. That is the problem.
It is not a pious will. Tomorrow you will ask any state to write medical and science and all the book in Bengali and Tamil and Telugu. It is not possible, because with higher studies they have a different, lots of, all language has not available higher studies book. Higher studies book, limited language, in the all over the world, international language, national language, the higher books are limited. So, by saying that, he is not showing any diligence and greatness. It is just foolishness. You cannot ask state to write your higher education books in your own state language immediately. It may take time.
Purnima now joins us to put this in perspective. Purnima, we've had this war of words between MK Stalin and the Union Home Minister on another occasion as well. It's not just on the national language policy, the national education policy, but it's also on the delimitation exercise. But the BJP is now put in motion a plan of its own as far as the state of Tamil Nadu goes to try and create awareness about this three-language policy, isn't it?
Absolutely. BJP has kickstarted the signature campaign, and every day they are approaching the public to know if, and students especially from the government schools, to see if they are okay with a three-language formula, whether they want opportunity to learn another Indian language as a third language. So that is being done by the BJP, and they plan to hold public meetings in different districts starting from the 23rd of March. Meanwhile, even Home Minister Amit Shah says that Tamil language and Tamil culture, they are priceless treasures, and adds that Prime Minister, considering that the youth of Tamil Nadu may get the opportunity, wanted exam papers for medical and engineering tests in Tamil. Why hasn't the Chief Minister taken that initiative when the DMK is talking about promoting Tamil? Why haven't they taken this initiative for the last 2 years? Why is the DMK not doing this is a question posed by the BJP. So clearly, language is going to be one of the key narratives for the 2026 State Assembly polls.
Absolutely, and we still are a year or so ahead of those assembly elections, so that fight is only going to escalate. But for the moment, thank you so much, Purnima, for getting us those details. Shifting focus now, tomorrow is International Women's Day, and on that day a historic first will take place in Gujarat. An all-women police force will be handling the security detail for Prime Minister Modi's event in Navsari. The security team will consist of 2,100 constables, IPS officers and senior officers, including an Inspector General of Police. This unique initiative aims to highlight the growing role of women in ensuring safety and security. In fact, Senior IPS Officer Nipuna Torawane will be overseeing the arrangements, sending a strong message on women's empowerment in law enforcement.
A very, very unique effort, perhaps the first of its kind.
आनंद जी, कल अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस के अवसर पे
जी
एक ऐतिहासिक कार्यक्रम लखपति दीदी का नवसारी में होने जा रहा है, जिसमें प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र भाई मोदी जी सम्मिलित होने वाले हैं। पुलिसिंग की फील्ड में एक ऐतिहासिक फैसला गुजरात पुलिस द्वारा लिया गया है। प्रधानमंत्री जी के इस कार्यक्रम की पूरे जिम्मेदारी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की दृष्टि से, मैनेजमेंट की दृष्टि से पूरी जिम्मेदारी वो महिला पुलिस दल की ऑफिसर से लेके महिला पुलिस स्टाफ को दी गई है। कुल मिला के 2165 से ज्यादा पुलिस कांस्टेबल से लेके पीएसआई, पीआई, डीवाईएसपी, एसपी, आईजी, एडीजीपी, ये सभी अफसर वो महिला अफसर होंगे। और खास तौर पे ये कार्यक्रम की तैयारियों को देख के महिला पुलिस अफसरों ने पिछले कई दिनों से रात दिन एक करके मेहनत की है, और ये बहुत ही डिटेल्ड प्लान उन्होंने ये कार्यक्रम को लेके बनाया है। कल मैंने उन लोग के साथ जब मेरी चर्चा हुई, मैंने उनकी आंखों में जो विश्वास देखा है मैं मान रहा हूं कि ये एक ऐतिहासिक फैसला है और ये ऐतिहासिक कार्यक्रम की तैयारियों में महिला पुलिस पूरी तरह से सशक्त है और उन्होंने बहुत ही अच्छी तैयारियां की है और आज तक का ये ऐतिहासिक कार्यक्रम होगा।
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय विमेंस दिवस, महिला दिवस के उपलक्ष्य पर ये बहुत ही यूनिक है, शायद ऐसा पहले कभी नहीं हुआ है हर्ष जी। और मुझे खबर है कि आप ही की टीम से भी एक महिला ही है जो इसको ओवरसी कर रही है, होम सेक्रेटरी निपुणा जी।
होम सेक्रेटरी भी महिला है, नवसारी डिस्ट्रिक्ट कलेक्टर खुद भी महिला है, नवसारी डिस्ट्रिक्ट के डिस्ट्रिक्ट डेवलपमेंट ऑफिसर भी महिला है। खास तौर पे आनंद जी, अगर आप थोड़ा इतिहास में जाओगे जी, तो मोदी जी जब गुजरात में मुख्यमंत्री के तौर पे जब सेवा दे रहे थे तब उनके द्वारा बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण जो निर्णय लिए गए थे उसमें से एक ऐतिहासिक निर्णय था कि पुलिस दल में महिलाओं को प्रोत्साहन दिया जाए, उनको फील्ड पे ज्यादा से ज्यादा उनको एक्सपीरियंस मिले और खास तौर पे जो महिला पुलिस की भर्ती जब पुलिस की होती है उसमें महिलाओं को ज्यादा से ज्यादा लाभ मिले, उसके लिए रिजर्वेशन भी महिला पुलिस का तभी उनके कार्यकाल के दरमियान गुजरात में दिया गया था। तो तब के जो निर्णय थे, ऐतिहासिक निर्णय, उसके कारण आज हम ये सब व्यवस्था है, ये सब निर्णय ले पा रहे हैं।
Moving on now, SEBI Chief Tuhin Kanta Pandey says that the regulator is willing to engage with foreign investors and take steps to ease regulations where required because India needs both domestic and foreign capital. He made that comment while he was speaking at the Money Control Global Wealth Summit 2025. Listen in.
As we intend to grow in the speed that we are aspiring, we need to have both domestic and foreign capital to support the growth momentum. Such long-term foreign capital would further support infrastructure growth, innovation and entrepreneurship in India. We at SEBI are conscious about the need to create conducive environment to attract foreign capital. We will be happy to engage with FPI and AIF industry participants to address their difficulties and further rationalize regulations to promote ease of operation. For sustainable capital market growth, maintaining trust and transparency in the financial ecosystem is paramount. A well-regulated market instills confidence among investors, ensuring fair and efficient capital allocation. Regulatory bodies, market participants and corporates must uphold the highest standards of governance, disclosures and ethical practices. Enhanced transparency in regulatory action, corporate reporting and market operations will further strengthen the trust of both domestic and global investors in India's financial markets. And I think the trust and transparency extends to SEBI itself. We need to not only create trust of all stakeholders in us, but we also need to maintain that trust. And to that extent, I think we need to be more transparent, including on various other measures, including, for example, on the conflict of interest of the board and so on. And we will be coming forward with our own plan to further transparently, reveal these conflict of interest, etc., to the public.
On that note, slipping into a quick break on this edition. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
से प्यार
Засад рятувальників наразі ліквідовують наслідки. Медики, поліція, всі оперативні служби на місцях. Ліквідовуємо, допомагаємо. Намагаємось максимально оперативно ліквідувати усі пожежі. Уся інформація буде згодом щодо наслідків, щодо постраждалих. Ми працюємо.
$4.10 перемещаться, да?
У меня аж дом задрожал и упали вещи. И я боялся и под диван упал. И испугался, под диван залез и сидел, пока все это не перестанется. Я орал на весь дом. Папа меня успокоил, но я все равно той ночью не мог заснуть, целую ночь сидел. И что-то еще все равно стреляло. Я боялся, спрятался под диваном, пытался заснуть. И еще был у меня братик, и он тоже испугался, и он тоже плакал. И я не мог ничего сделать, и я просто быстро пытался заснуть. И сейчас мы сидим без света, и у нас все электрическое, мы не можем покушать. У нас все и мой брат младший, он тоже не может покушать. И еще мама уехала на войну, и папа. Папа мне помог, чтобы я не боялся.
Знаю как. Никак.
Мы просто 6 можем, сколько? 4?
4.
4 на забор. Ира, надо попросить у кого-то тачку.
Да, главное нет света и газа нет еще, добавок ко всему. У нас же отопление, ну частный дом, котел стоит, автономное, газа нет с ночи. Плита не работает, света нет. Уезжать пока таких планов нет. Во-первых, это связано с возрастом. Нам уже под 80 лет, мне и жене. Ну, а во-вторых, ехать-то некуда. Будем приспосабливаться. Конечно, если уже так, если каждый вечер будет такая бомбежка, то придется, может быть, куда-то убегать.
Welcome back. We have some breaking news that's now coming in, and this is a CNN News 18 exclusive. Many question marks are being raised on Pakistan's capabilities after Champions Trophy was shifted to Dubai. Pakistan couldn't utilize its biggest soft diplomacy power due to in-house factors. There are major losses in unutilized infrastructure in a country whose economy is already in the doldrums. There's escalated cost of renovation as well. According to sources, combined infrastructure renovations for the Champions Trophy venues in Pakistan reportedly ended up costing about $64 million, which is nothing but an overspend, a price the country probably cannot afford. Akanksha, my colleague, now joining us, getting us more details. Akanksha, what more can you tell us? What are the details of these overspends, and how is it that Pakistan and the government there didn't realize that with an economy that's already in the doldrums, this is something that perhaps they couldn't afford?
Right. This is a CNN News 18 exclusive with inputs being shared by Security Affairs Editor Mr. Manoj Gupta. Now remember, Poonam, as you said, this was the need of the hour for Pakistan, as you rightly highlighted, that their economy is already in the doldrums, and $64 million, which is a whopping amount, has already been spent by Pakistan as far as renovations are concerned. When I say that it was the need of the hour, because, remember, the kind of money and the investment it would have brought had Pakistan played the host country, which has not happened. That also could perhaps also be seen in the frustration that was displayed by the PCB chairperson Mohsin Naqvi when he refused to agree for a hybrid model. But when you look at the kind of breakup and the renovation costs, I'd like to share some figures with you over here. In fact, we've seen stadiums, the Gaddafi Stadium, pavilion and seats, in fact, being renovated. You have stadiums in Lahore, Rawalpindi, all of them going through renovations. 21,000 seats being raised to like 34,000, 28,000 seats in Rawalpindi. 15,000 seats were increased to 18,000 seats. And just look at the amount, $7 to $9 million was spent on just ensuring hospitality and transport. So that is the kind of expenditure that's gone into it. But now coming to the moot point, when you're saying that why couldn't Pakistan ensure, that this is actually also getting them returns, they couldn't because of the security failure that this country is currently experiencing. Remember, we had intel reports, which we had also put out there in a news break earlier, where we also passed on information that ISIS-K and the TTP were also planning to attack during the visit, which is one reason why the Indian cricket team refused to go there to Pakistan. As far as security is concerned, that's also one reason. Remember, hundreds of policemen, in fact, refused to guard the country when this Champions Trophy was to take place. So I think Pakistan is primarily bearing the brunt of their own failure when it comes to ensuring security and safety of the players.
And India's hard stance of not travelling to Pakistan or playing any of the matches there seems to have come as a big blow for Pakistan, its economy and the PCB as well. At the moment, Akanksha, thank you so much for getting us the latest on that front. Moving on now, an exclusive interaction with News 18 ahead of International Women's Day. Apollo Hospital's managing director, Sangeeta Reddy, shared that while there was a decline in cervical cancer cases, every 3 minutes, one woman is diagnosed with breast cancer. She also highlighted a significant shift in female attitudes over the last few years when it comes to cancer screening. Listen in to that exclusive conversation.
Doctor, you are a global healthcare leader. You're a woman, and I'm sure that you must be seeing a lot of data coming from Apollo ecosystem. So I just want to ask you, what is the status of women health in India right now?
I think it's very significant for us to really not just think and dream, but really push towards a positive, proactive, health-aware population, both men and women. And women hold the role of taking care of their own health, but also the health of the family. In terms of the trends which we are seeing, so traditionally, women, of course, were not considered, very proactive about their health. So we saw them in a late stage coming with cardiac problems, cancer. 1 in 7 women will get breast cancer. We definitely saw women coming with hypertension, and that's a very significant number actually. 12% of women are suffering from hypertension, which I think is a very, very significant number. This is because of stress and various factors. Of course, obesity, which leads to other cardiac problems and, other various non-communicable disease get heightened, especially diabetes. And about 24% of the female population is overweight. Of course, 18% are underweight. So we have the other problem as well. And the other aspect which we must look at is that 56% of women have a very negative hip to waist ratio. So this makes them at higher risk for various disease. Definitely women are, they're more aware of fitness, of muscle strength, of the importance of preventive care, of screening programs. And I think corporates also have started a lot of corporate programs. And Apollo has been partnering throughout in many, many of these.
You know, we see that a lot of women are now getting stress and anxiety and panic attacks. While we talk about the physical wellness, physical health, what do you think about the mental health? How do we take care of that?
But this is clearly, a range of things for mental health. Number one is just building confidence, building their ability to speak up, to be heard, to manage your own stress, to create environments that are conducive to you and not to suffer in silence. I think that is a baseline principle. The second thing is, if there are significant symptoms of anxiety or various disorders which are resultant of mental stress, I think it's important to face it and have the opportunity, as well as not feel shy about saying, I want a counselor.
Just pick one thing from your routine that you think that, ladies can include that in their routine and may feel a difference.
So I do a 15-minute pranayama. I wish I was doing more. But I think that the breathing and the mental health, the meditation, give me a lot of strength, a lot of composure to enable the multitasking and all the various things that we do in our lives.
Speaking of women and International Women Day, Shri Shakti Suraksha survey was conducted across 20 cities in 20 states, and 8,000 women participants were a part of this entire survey. Detailed questions were asked about their everyday experiences. Now, all of this research was conducted by P-Value Analytics. They sat down to discuss with women in 10 languages over the course of 98 questions about how they felt about their state of safety, specifically in India across the different states. Listen.
How safe do you feel in your city? Take a look at those numbers on the screen in front of you. 82% of women saying that they feel safe. So, painting a very, very positive picture seemingly. 6% of women saying they feel unsafe, and a neutral is at 12%. But again, I want to draw your attention to that 12%. Let's take you now to the next set of numbers. We're going to go through a few sets of numbers and then we'll go over to the experts for their comments. So, question number 2. How safe do you feel in your city during the day? Here, interestingly, we want to point out that number, 82%, consistent with the previous data set. Now, when it comes to moderately safe, 14% of women said that in the daytime we feel moderately safe, and at unsafe there were 4%. Again, this number, safe at 82%, same as the earlier number. But let's go on to the next set of data. The picture gets a little more complex here. How safe do you feel in your city during the night time? How safe do women across 20 states, 20 cities in 20 states feel during the night time? This is where that number drops. We were earlier in the 80s, but that number plummets to 48%. 48% of women feel safe in the night time in their cities. 29% feel moderately safe, and a whole 23% feel unsafe. That's almost 1 in every 4 have said that they feel unsafe. Now, before we go over to the experts, we have one more interesting piece of information, piece of data that we wanted to shine a light on. We also asked everyone gathered what they thought the safest cities were. So each person had to answer how safe they felt their city was. What are the cities that did the best? The 3 cities that did the best in rankings, and this is not in order of how safe they were or how safely they were ranked by women. You have Ahmedabad, Indore, and Mumbai. Again, not in order. These cities are ranked, as we're telling you, in alphabetic order. Ahmedabad, Indore, and Mumbai. These are the cities that consistently, when women were asked, how safe do you feel in your city? These are the cities that got the best scores. Now, we told you a little earlier that we have an expert from P-Value Analytics with us this morning to help us analyze the numbers. Dr. Kanupriya is with us to shine a light on these numbers. Let's go over to her to understand a little bit more. Dr. Kanupriya, if we could first just bring up that first data set with you. We'll get into the other numbers in just a second. But more than 80% of women saying that they do feel safe in their cities. That's a surprising number. Were you surprised by how positive the response was when you were conducting this survey? I just want to also tell our audiences, each of these surveys was conducted by a woman, so it was women talking to other women. Dr. Kannapriya, floor over to you. How did you feel when you saw these numbers?
Okay. So Toya, basically these findings just establish a baseline understanding that women who've been a part of the survey in general do not feel or do not live in a space of fear or anxiety constantly. However, when I say this, when we look at the data, since it's a general perception, it will vary considerably when it is looked at from different contextual lenses like the domains, the demographics and the cities. Also, if you look at the second number which is there, neutral and unsafe, it again puts up a picture that there is a number which is also reporting that they feel unsafe, and there is also a number which is reporting that they feel moderately safe in their surroundings. This is no outright concern to their safety or security, but still that means there are certain apprehensions amongst this group.
Very good evening. You're watching Plain Speak. I'm Akanksha Swaroop. The Karnataka government's 2025 budget has sparked a political row today, with the BJP strongly criticizing allocations made for minority welfare. Why so? Because the budget presented by Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has earmarked over 1,000 crores for minority